I'm here to teach you plant life. Okay, grade 6 topic plant life. So coming to plant life, there are various parts of the plants like root, stem, branches, leaves, flowers, etc. So first I'm going to have a root system. If you are taking root system, in root system there are two types. One is taproot system and another one is fibrous root system. So coming to taproot system, if a root is produced from the stem, okay, and it belongs, it goes too deep, a single root is going down, that such plants and such a root is called as taproot. And this root is called as a primary root. And here small hairs are there, which is called as root hairs. Okay, and coming to fibrous root, if you are taking fibrous root, no such single root will be produced. All the root will be from the branches and it won't grow into a longer deep. It will be above the soil and we can pull it out very easily. So such roots are called as fibrous roots. Coming back to taproot, an example for taproot is all dicotyledon plants. Dicot plant. So what is meant by dicot? If you are splitting the seed into two, example groundnut, while you are eating groundnut, we can split the groundnut seed into two. If anything, any seed which can be split into two is called as dicot. Such plants contain the root which is taproot. Example, groundnut, then mango, apple, all the fruits which we eat. Coming to back to fibrous root, if the seeds are not splitting into two, we can't split the seed into two, and it will be like a single seed, and such a plant contains fibrous root. Okay, and such plants are called as monocot. So you got the definition dicot. Dicot means a seed can be splitting into two. Then the root system in dicot is taproot system. Monocot means a seed which cannot be split into two and it will be like a single. And the root present in it is fibrous root system. An example for monocot is coconut. If you are taking a coconut, we have to cut open the coconut. We can't split into two by our hand. Then rice. Rice also, it will be a single piece. We can't split the rice into two. So such plants contains fibrous root and such plants are called as monoroot system. Okay, this is which is the root system of the plant. And here then coming back to shoot system. See, just for your information, I have revised this topic because I have already taken this topic and you are very clear about this topic. So coming to shoot system. Shoot system is new to you, and so you have to go through it very clearly. Okay, shoot system contains stem, leaf, flowers, buds, etc. Okay, these are the three main parts of shoot system. The portion which grows above the soil from here to here altogether called as shoot system. Okay, the portion which grows above the soil is called as shoot system. So if you are watching this plant, you can see above the soil stem is there, leaves are there, leaf node is there, axil is there, flower may be there, fruit may be there. So these all will come under shoot system. First I will teach you about stem. Coming to stem, stem is the main part of shoot. It's usually green in color. Okay, for young, here you can see for young plants it will be green in color. When it is growing bigger, like mango tree or banyan tree, whatever may be, when it is growing bigger, it will be changing the color. But if you are cut open inside, you can see the green color there. Okay, so it's usually green in color and it grows very larger in size, getting older and older. The stem bears two types of buds. Stem has two types of buds. Okay, one is vegetative bud and another one is floral bud. Vegetative buds and floral buds. Okay, So what is vegetative buds? Vegetative buds is how the plants are growing. At the tip, okay, there will be a bud, and these buds will be dividing in number. Okay, it means that the cells in the tips will be getting numbered. It means that if two cells are there, it will be divided into 4, 4 will be into 16, 16 will be 64, and going on. When the number increases, the plants will start to grow. Okay, that is what called as vegetative buds. So keep in mind, and you should be very clear about this, because you are going to study these same topics in grade 10 also. So vegetative bud means at the tip of the plant there will be a bud, and that bud will be developing or dividing by itself, and it will be growing bigger in size. So such buds are called as vegetative buds. Floral buds means in between the nodes, okay, flowers will be produced. So for producing flower, they have a bud which is called as floral bud, and to making the plant to grow, they have a bud which is called as vegetative bud. So these vegetative buds are present mostly at the tip of the stem. Okay, as I told you, here it may be at the tip of the stem, and in this plant also it may be at the tip of the stem, and here also it may be at the tip of the plant. All the stems at the tip it has vegetative buds, and these floral buds will be present in between the node. So here this region and this region is there, no? This region, and here this region is what called as node. Okay, in between the leaf, stalk and the stem there is a region called as node, and here these floral buds are produced, and from here the flower will be produced, or from the flower fruit will be produced. Okay, and the main function of stem, first point is it provides support to the branches, leaves, buds, flowers and fruits. Okay, it gives support. Stem is the part which makes the plant to be in upright position. Okay, so it gives support to the leaf, branches, flowers, etc. The next, the stems present leaves, and in between the leaves it has nodes, and the leaves are arranged in form in which it will be absorbing, or it will be exposed to the sunlight to absorb enough amount of light for doing photosynthesis. So the point is, in the stem they have node, and in the node they have leaves, and these leaves are exposed or arranged in form to expose to the sunlight to produce photosynthesis, because photosynthesis is the ultimate source of energy from the plant. Because after photosynthesis, glucose is produced. Using glucose, the plants will get energy, and they will make to grow. So for doing photosynthesis, plant needs sunlight. So sunlight is absorbed by the green coloring pigment in the leaf, which is called as chlorophyll. Okay, and this sunlight should be, this plant leaf should be exposed to the sunlight. If it is not exposed, it won't be absorbing sunlight. It won't be absorbing sunlight, and it won't be producing any photosynthesis, because chlorophyll will not absorb sunlight. So the stems are arranged in such a way that leaf should be exposed to the sunlight. Okay, so the point is, stems arrange leaf to expose to the sunlight, exposed to sunlight to have photosynthesis. Then the stem, next point, the stem and the root is connected each other. Okay, above the soil which is called the shoot system, and below the soil which is called the root system. So the root system is directly growing upward to the soil, and it is called a stem. Okay, the stem is connection between the root and shoot, and the root will absorb water and minerals from the soil, and this water and minerals from the soil is taken to all part of the plant through the stem. Okay, so stem transport water and minerals. Transport water and minerals from the root to the leaf. Then the last point is the green stem or young plant carries, and I told you wherever the green is there, it is due to the presence of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green coloring pigment, and the chlorophyll is the main pigment which is used for photosynthesis. So the young stems which are green in color will do photosynthesis because stems are green in color. So chlorophyll is there. If chlorophyll is there, sunlight is absorbed by the stem, and if sunlight is absorbed, photosynthesis will happen. Okay. So the green stem do photosynthesis. So these are the main function of photosynthesis. Okay. So I will revise it once again. Function of stem. First point is it gives support to the plant. Okay, it makes the plant to be in upright position. Then stems are the leaves are arranged in such a way that it is exposed to the sunlight to do photosynthesis. Then stem transport water and minerals from the root to all part of the leaf. Then green stem also do photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the main function of stem. So I think you are clear about it. If you have any doubt, you can ask me while I am coming in Zoom. So coming to plant life. Okay, generally plant life means stem, root, leaf. So I have discussed root already in the Zoom app, and I think you are clear about it. And now I have taken stem. So next we are going to leaf. Okay. So if you are imagining a leaf in your mind, you can feel that the leaves are flattened. Okay. Example, if you are taking this leaf, a leaf is flattened. Okay. Why it is flattened? Because most of the leaves are very thin, not thick. Because when it is flattened, more sunlight will be exposed to it, and due to the sunlight, the plant will go for photosynthesis. Okay. So that's the main reason the plants are flattened. But some leaves are not flattened and they are sticky, full of water, etc. That is due to another adaptation. They have to store food because of less water, etc. It may be adapted, and while ongoing the process, you will learn about it. So here the leaf is thin, flattened, and expanded. Okay, thin, flattened, and expanded. Then the leaves are growing directly from the node. I told you node is the region where from the stem the leaves start to grow. Okay, and the leaves are directly growing from the node. If you are taking any type of plant, you can see from the stem or from the branches leaf will be directly growing. So that region is what called node. So here in between the node, here this is one node and this is another one node. Okay, and this is another one node. So in between this space is what called as internode. Okay, a place where the leaf grow is node, and the place where the another leaf grow, and in between the space is what called as internode. This region is internode. Okay, so coming to part of the leaf. So node, leaf growth. Then internode is the place in between two nodes. Then coming to the part of the leaf, here you can take, this is the leaf, and if you are taking the part of the leaf, the tip of the leaf is called as sigma. Tip of the leaf is called as leaf apex. And the flattened part is called the leaf blade. Leaf blade or leaf lamina. leaf blade. So here the tip of the leaf is called the leaf apex, and this flattened part is called as leaf blade or leaf lamina, and the center there will be a vein which is called as midrib. Midrib, okay, and the outer layer, outer shape of the leaf, this is what the shape, leaf margin. So this leaf margin and the shape of the leaf will be varying according to the plants. All the leaves won't be in same shape or same size. Okay, so that is due to leaf margin. Then the leaf which is attached to the node, which is called as petiole. Okay, so in here the center there is a vein which is called as midrib, and you can see all the leaves there will be parallel veins arranged. Okay, like a net or like parallel. So they are called as veins. Veins of the leaves. Understood? So this is the part of the leaf. So once again I will revise. Tip of the leaf is called as leaf apex, and the part where leaf connected to the stem is leaf petiole, and the margin of the leaf is called as leaf margin, and here the flattened part is called as leaf lamina or leaf blade, and the center part is midrib. So from the center part there will be so many veins which is called as a leaf vein. Okay, so this midrib and vein is used for transporting waters. So now I will explain the parts one by one simply. So leaf blade or leaf lamina. Leaf blade or leaf lamina is flattened. So this part is flattened. It's flattened because when it is flattened and when it is thin, sunlight will fall on it, and due to that photosynthesis will happen, because green color is there, and green color contains chlorophyll, and chlorophyll will be absorbing sunlight and it will help in photosynthesis. So that's a function of leaf lamina. So then coming to petiole. Petiole is the region where the leaf is connected to the stem. So this petiole make the leaf to be in upright position. Okay, hold it in a position to absorb sunlight. So if the petiole is there, the leaf may be like this. If it is like this, it won't be, sunlight won't absorb it. Okay, if it is like this leaf can't absorb sunlight because it is not in a position to absorb sunlight. It is not exposed to sunlight. If the leaves are like this, okay, it can absorb sunlight because this position is maintained due to this petiole. Okay, so petiole is there, and petiole will help to maintain the position of the leaf to absorb sunlight. Then again I told you here, the center part there is a midrib. This midrib is used to carry nutrients or water from the leaf or from the root to all part of to the leaf to get energy. And this midrib contains small veins which are called as leaf vein, which is also used to carry minerals or water from the root or from the leaf. After photosynthesis it comes over here and they will get energy to survive. Okay, so these are the main function of the leaf. Coming back to leaf, there are two types of leaf. Two types of leaf. Two types of leaf. One is simple leaf and another one is compound leaf. Compound leaf. See, coming back to simple leaf. Simple leaf is one in which the lamina is not divided, for example mango leaf. So this leaf is which we call the simple leaf. So here the simple leaf, it seems to be a single leaf. Okay, there is no wedges or anything else, it is as a single, and it is like a flattened paper. Okay, so this is what a simple leaf. Example mango, this lily, whatever may be the leaf, it is simple leaf. So coming back to simple leaf, there is no such division, and midrib will be in the center. And now coming back to this compound leaf, in which the lamina such as division reaches the midrib, breaking lamina into smaller leaflets. This leaf is called as compound leaf, okay, because a single leaf will be dividing, and this division will be taken off, and it will be producing many leaves altogether in single stalk. Here you can see a single leaf in single stalk, okay. A single petiole is there, it will be growing longer, and a single leaf is there. If you are taking it out, in a single stalk, single petiole, you can see so many leaves. This is due to the division of this lamina. So these leaves are called as compound leaf, and this leaf is called as simple leaf. Once again I will repeat, in single leaf the petiole won't be divided further, and a single leaf will be in single petiole. If you are taking this out, there will be a petiole, and the petiole will be expanded, and from the petiole so many small leaves will be joined together or produced together, and such leaves are called as compound leaf. I think you got the point. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Simple example. See, this is my right hand is an example for, and this is an example for simple leaf, because two leaves are there and no such small leaves are there. Here, if you are taking out in rows, okay, a single stalk like this, a single stalk is there, a petiole is there, and it will be growing out, and three leaves are produced together. And the pictures are also like saw. So that is which is called as compound leaf. Okay, this is the difference of single leaf, and this is an example for compound leaf.